Hi, this is Mrs. Kömeç. Today we are looking at narrative tenses. They are the tenses that we use to tell stories. Past simple, past continuous, and past perfect are all used to tell stories and describe past events and states. So what's the difference? Let's start with past simple tense. Past simple describes a finished action or state that happened at a definite time in the past. Look at the examples. I went to the movies last night. It was a stormy night. Here, past simple describes complete actions. Now, what about past continuous tense? Past continuous describes an action in progress happening at a specific time in the past. In other words, it describes incomplete actions. Here are the examples. We were having dinner when someone knocked on the door. Another one, he was doing his homework at 10 o'clock last night. We often use past continuous tense to give background in a story. We use past continuous tense to describe the background situation at the moment when the action begins. Often the story starts with the past continuous tense and then moves into the past simple. Let's read this part from a story. James Bond was driving through town. It was raining. The wind was blowing hard. Nobody was walking in the streets. Suddenly, Bond saw the killer. Here, we set the stage or give the background using the past continuous tense, and then we use past simple to describe the complete action when Bond sees the killer. Now, our next tense is past perfect. It is used to talk about an action or state that happened before another past action or state. In other words, it is the past in the past. Look at the example. When we arrived at the theater, the play had already started. It means the play started first and then we arrived. Another example, I arrived there late on Friday evening. It had been a very tiring journey. So, how do we form the past perfect tense? Look at this table. Let's start with the positive sentences. In the positive sentences, we start with the subject and then we use had. You can use the short form and we continue with past participle form of the verb. She had gone. And for the negative sentences, we start with the subject and we use had not or the short form hadn't, and we continue with the past participle again. He hadn't arrived. To ask questions, you start with had and then use the subject and use the past participle form of the verb again. Had they left? Our short answers are yes, they had, and no, they hadn't. So, when do we use past perfect in stories? When we tell a story, we set a time in the past, and we use past perfect to refer to events that happened before that time. Here there is a part from a story again. Let's read it. Bond opened the door very slowly, looked around the room and walked in. The window was open and the curtains were blowing in the wind. Clearly, someone had left in a hurry. Here, someone left the room before Bond arrived there. So you see, this is past perfect in our story. And here we see that we use past continuous to give background. I hope you have understood. If you have any questions, please ask me in the class. See you later.